We've got some real talent at our quarterback position. I think Tony Romo is one of the best quarterbacks that has played this game. My real regret would be to have had him here and not win a Super Bowl with him. Ugh. He's that talented. Ugh. And then I look at Dak and see how he's playing, his future. I just don't have a problem with this situation. I wish we had cameras on the two of you.
Before you go, is he saying Tony Romo is one of the all-time greats or one of the all-time great quarterbacks?
He said, I think Tony Romo is one of the best quarterbacks that has played this game.
Ever played. That's what he just said.
And my real regret would be to have had him here and not win a Super Bowl with him. Skip, what do you make of this?
First of all, allow me to say, when Jerry once again proclaims this a wonderful problem, that is the biggest bunch of baloney that ever came out of Jerry Jones' mouth. Mm-hmm. Then he did say a lot of nice things about Dak, how great it is, beautiful it is that he's getting so many reps so early in his career in real games that Tony Romo did not get. It's always in the Romo context. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then he waxed poetic to Jerry Jones about his boy, Tony Romo. Mm-hmm. And he made that statement. It was horrifyingly revealing that you just read twice, Joy. The real regret would be to have had Tony Romo, whom he's designating as one of the best ever, and to have not have won a Super Bowl with Tony Romo. Well, first of all, one of the best ever? I mean, I like Tony, but come on. A 2-4 playoff record in 10 seasons as a starter, so he made the playoffs 4 times in 10 years. Jerry, he's not all-time great. Stop it. Yeah. He's really good, but he's not that guy. He's not up there in the top echelon.
Let's just take, for the sake of argument, the 20-plus guys that's in the Hall of Fame. Forget the guys that's not even in the Hall of Fame. Let's just take those guys. Right. So we're starting at 20-plus and moving down. Right. And I can think of a lot of guys like Kurt Warner. He's not better than, but hey, I digress.
We could do that, and I would be right there with you. As big a fan as I have been of Tony Romo's, you are correct, sir. Now, back to the point. He's revealing his heart to you publicly. That's what he's doing. Yes. Because he loves him some Tony Romo. And as much as I have campaigned on this show for Jerry to step up after the Philly game a week ago and say it is now Dak Prescott's job for the rest of the year. No ifs, ands, or buts. Tony, when he returns, will be our backup quarterback. He's not going to make that declaration. Nope. As much as I campaigned at the trade deadline, just rid yourself of the temptation, Jerry. People are going to want to pay a lot for Tony Romo. You could get draft picks to build around Dak Prescott. I'm convinced he's real. I think you're now convinced he is the real deal. You could win championships, plural, going forward with Dak and Zeke and the offensive line. You've been making the point. They're set up to be dynastic here, right? Yes. Going into the future. This is a very young football team that could go a long way for a long time. So I said, just trade Tony, to rid the temptation and get a lot in return for him and get out from under the $24 million that you're cap strapped with him over the next 3 years. You could have been done with it. But no. Here's what Jerry wants. He wants for Dak to eventually hand Tony Romo a made-to-order Super Bowl. For the first time, you could just hand it to Tony here. I don't know what the record's going to be, but I'm going to stand by what I've been predicting now for 3 weeks. The watershed moment is going to come at Pittsburgh next week, back in your hometown, because the Steelers, to me, are most dangerous when they go on the road and get embarrassed or humiliated. This time, yesterday, by their arch rival in Baltimore. We all know the Ravens are not very good, and they somehow managed to block a punt for a touchdown and get Mike Wallace loose for a 95-yard touchdown, and they beat Ben coming off knee surgery 21-14. Well, remember what happened after Pittsburgh went to Philly, kind of an in-state rival, and lost 34-3. They went home and crushed a really good Kansas City team. Remember, this is 43-13. Okay, that it shapes up to have that kind of outcome next week. I hope I'm wrong about this, but I'm on the record. If Dak loses next week at Pittsburgh, and it might not be his fault at all, let's just say if the Cowboys lose next week at Pittsburgh to fall to 7-2, I will bet you Tony Romo takes over the following week against Baltimore at Jerry World. I will just bet you that it's made to, that's what Jerry, he just showed you his heart. He showed you, I need Tony before he's done to win one Super Bowl. We got to win one together here. And Dak has made it possible because he has set us up through the first 8 games to win a Super Bowl. That's what's going on. That's what I heard. I'm sorry. Over and out. It would be the biggest mistake Jerry Jones has ever made in his career.